Here we go. So this is inner Sakata City. There's a nice Inari shrine. And there we go, behind me. And so recently, actually, sorry, I'm still getting used to the machine. I'll get there. For a mic. Two things. So one thing is, due to unforeseen circumstances, I'm late. I planned to do this 18 minutes ago, but something came up and I had to deal with it, so I'm late. And then the other thing is, I don't know how to get it to, I wanted to do it in landscape mode, but you have to change this in advance, so for future reference. Learn how to do that before you start a live video. Anyway, so I'm in central Sakata City, and the other day, maybe like two weeks ago, Chris from abroad in Japan released a video about, well, the video was about, is the Japan declining? Is Japan on the decline? And I'm still recovering from a sore throat as well. And the video was in it, so Chris mentioned three places that he's lived in Japan. So one was Tokyo, let me say that properly, Tokyo. One was Tokyo, one was Sendai, and the other was Sakata City in Yamagata Prefecture, which is here. This is Sakata City. And actually, an interesting tidbit for you is that this building right behind me, this building right here, let me flip the camera around. This building right here, this one here, this building housed the richest family in Japan. So I'll maybe get a closer look. People don't stop at the pedestrian crossings. Anyway, so this building right here housed the richest family in Japan until the end of the Second World War. They're still rich. I don't think they don't live there anymore because now it's a museum. But the richest family in Japan used to live in this building right here. They got rich in the Edo period, so from the 1600s onwards. And it's the Honma family. Let me go down to central Sakata. The Honma family. So this city in rural Yamagata used to be home to the richest family in Japan, which, I don't know, people just don't seem to realize how big of a story that is. Well, I think it's huge. Why would the richest family in Japan live in rural Yamagata? Now that's a story for another time I can get into. But the thing about this video is is rural Japan dying? Or in other words, is rural Japan dead? Because in Chris's video there were a couple of very good points. Like, I don't know, like lots of the buildings are run down. Actually, there's one just across the road from me right here. Look at this, check this out. Can you see that? So it's a building covered in ivy. And, oh, okay, maybe someone actually is living in it. I swear this building was damaged. No, maybe it wasn't this building? Anyway, people live in places like this. Jazz and Whiskey Bar, maybe I should go there sometime. Anyway. And, yeah, so is rural Japan dying? Is rural Japan dead? It's obviously not. There are still some people out here. Like this guy behind me is what's his name? Ueno Yama. He's a really cool guy. He sold me, what did he sell me? Oh, he sold me my wife's bike, that's what it was. So I didn't buy my bike from there, but anyway. So this is actually central Sakata. We're right downtown Sakata, and it's a Friday afternoon, so you would expect that to be a busy time, or at least I would. And Nihonjin desu. Oh, that's good. Nihon desu ka? Nihon desu. This is Yamagata ken no Sakata desu. This is Sakata City in Yamagata Prefecture. Sakata da yo. That's right. Oh, there's music playing that might affect the legality of this video. But anyway, hopefully you can't hear that. So this is Central Sakata on a Friday afternoon. Okay, let me just show you what it looks like. Okay, Central Sakata. Okay, and I can see someone in a car in the distance, and there's one person walking down. There's two people, double. There's no one around. I'm just gonna actually. I'm just gonna actually not walk down the main street because I'm worried that the music will get picked up and I'll get a strike. So yeah, it's really annoying. They constantly play the radio down that street, even though there's hardly anyone to listen to it. And so, as you just saw, so that's the main street. That's the main strip of Sakata City. And Sakata City is like, it's really spread out. It's too spread out, in my opinion. So there's the area around the train station, which is where the hotel that Chris stayed in is Tsuki no Hoteru, the hotel, Moon Hotel. And from there, it's a bit of a walk to this area of central Sakata. Would take you maybe half an hour. And this area has that main strip, we call it Nakamachi. And that main strip leads up to, there's a shrine called Hie Jinja, Hie Shrine, which is the main shrine of Sakata City. And there's a massive festival every year in May. I think it's around the 20th of May each year, over a few days. And so, why are you stopping? Yeah, so this is central Sakata, okay? So this is where the area you would expect to be bustling, if there was to be an area that was bustling. But, I don't know, there's a few cars around. But anyway, so I think people like in this area, they tend to use their cars. So, because this area, like, even right now, it's around 30 degrees Celsius. And even though it's the middle of September, it's normally not this hot. Where else have I heard that? And then there's also winter here. Winter here is quite severe. So we get usually last year there was like only 2 or 3 days like this, but we get like meters of snow, literally, like up to your knees at least, snow. And it piles on the side of the road. And so if your only form of transport is foot or like bicycle, winter is quite inconvenient. So you have to take the buses, but the buses aren't that frequent. I've actually never ridden a bus in this city, come to think of it. I have ridden the train a few times. But so what that means is basically everyone drives. And I've heard, it may not be true still, but at least in the past, so Yamagata Prefecture has the highest proportion of ownership of K cars, the yellow plate cars, which are, there's one right now. You see that? It's got a yellow number plate. And there's another one there too, with the yellow number plate. So these cars have a smaller wheelbase and a smaller engine, and I think the maximum is 1,000 cc, and they also have less tax, so they're cheaper. And so in Yamagata they need cars to get around because it's pretty hard to get around on foot, and they also tend to drive these yellow plate cars, K cars. Okay. So one thing that Sakata has going for it is this shop right behind me. It's called Mujirishi Ryohin, which is a very popular brand. Actually, my bookcase is Muji at home. And where else would I have a bookcase? And again, that's about it. So behind me here, I'll just switch the camera around. So this is a gym. This is relatively recently built, maybe about 5 or 6 years ago. There's a gym inside there. And then there's the Mujurishi from before. And this building right here, this one here, this empty building, this is in the center of Sakata City. This empty building was a department store. This empty building was a department store. Actually, I'll get a view from the front because it's quite interesting. So if you want evidence that Japan is dying, or rural Japan is dying, I think this is pretty good evidence. The department store is gone. So it was a 5 or 6 floor, maybe even higher. I think it had at least 6 floors. Department store. There we go, get another view. But it closed down, what, 5 years ago? No, it can't have been that much. I think it was COVID. I think it was a victim of COVID. So maybe 2 or 3 years ago, this whole department store closed down for good. Okay. So yeah, that's at least evidence. Oi, Nihongo umain kai. Ah, ありがとうございます。山形自然豊かでいいところですね。Yes, 山形自然豊かでいいところです。So, some of these comments. So, one person's like, "Oh, you can actually speak Japanese," and unfortunately, I can't. Look at my T-shirt, Mount Tokai. So, Yamagata Shizen Yutaka. So, Yamagata is full of nature, and it's a very, very good place. That's my point, actually. So, Yamagata, like, if you're in, okay, there's a little fountain for children. So, if you're in, like, I don't know, like Tokyo or Sendai or another big city, and if you're looking for, let me say this, if you're looking for big city life, and I wrote this quote in my newsletter, if you're looking for big city life, big city pressure, inner city life, inner city pressure, which is a song by a New Zealand band, Inner City Pressure, check it out, really funny. If you're looking for inner city life and inner city pressure, go live in a big city, I don't care. But just understand that life here is not, I don't know, that's big city life, inner city life, and myself included. So, truth be told, I hardly ever come down here. There is a cafe. Actually, there's a cafe at the end of this street, and there's a cafe at the other end that I go to, but that's about it. And so I hardly ever walk down here. Central Sakata, and I think a lot of people are very similar. You can see just behind me. So like this is a rundown building here, right in the city center. But my point is actually what someone brought up just here. So Hiroyuki Ito. Shingonshu Some. I can't read your name, sorry. Haku-un? That's very cool. He's a Shingon priest by the look of it. And he commented that Yamagata has really beautiful nature. And that's my point. So you don't come to Yamagata to have inner city life, big city life. You come to Yamagata to enjoy the countryside. With the countryside comes a whole lot of quirks, yes, to be honest. So there are some inconveniences of living here, like I don't know. But except the thing is, these days we have the internet, so we can just order stuff online. And like Amazon next day delivery is pretty good. And then Japan's got a really good, what do you call it? Like delivery. We got courier service. The Japanese courier service is very good. Always on time and very polite people. And so in terms of inconvenience, in my life, I'm not that inconvenienced by living here. But I don't know, I'm in my mid-30s. I just turned 36 last month. And so I don't really need the nightlife or the excitement of the big city. And I'm much more at home out in the mountains, which Yamagata has plenty of. And if you haven't seen my other videos where I explore the mountains of Yamagata, then you probably don't really get what I'm trying to say. But the mountains here, the mountains and the nature in Yamagata is very good. Yeah, I could live up there. And then there's things like the food. So the food in Yamagata can't be beaten. Whenever I go to Tokyo, whenever I go to Tokyo, I'm always disappointed by the food. No offense. No, I haven't been to like many I don't think I've been to any high-class restaurants or anything like that. So I'm sure it's a different story there. But for the average person getting average meals in a restaurant, so I'm always disappointed at the quality of the fresh produce in the restaurants. I remember eating edamame in Tokyo and just being like disappointed. So disappointed I didn't eat them. But in saying that, Sakata City, just to the south of me, does have basically the best edamame in Japan. They're called dadacha mame. And just going to wait at the traffic light here. Actually, I'll give you a view. Inner city pressure. Okay. Yeah, can you see this sign here? This sign here, Kaji. It was a sign of it was a picture of a woman with her breast exposed, which Chris used in one of his thumbnails, one of his very early videos thumbnails, but they changed it to that map because the emperor was coming in 2016, I think it was. Anyway, maybe I'll just show you this view. Excuse me. So this is the main strip of Sakata. Only cars. I'm the only one walking. So yeah, basically I don't. So I don't know. I don't think. It's hard to say. So rural Japan is kind of dying in the respect that people are leaving. People are going to Tokyo, the other big cities, and that means that a lot of buildings are left empty. There are a lot of akiya, which seems to be very popular right now. And where are we? Yeah, and so that also means that shops are closing as well, like that department store I just mentioned. And also one other thing to mention is, so that department store had a supermarket in the bottom floor, and across the that little walkway that I was under, there was a supermarket there as well, and that supermarket closed down. And so right now, central Sakata City doesn't have any supermarkets. There are no supermarkets in central Sakata City. If you go to the border of the city, there are. So there are, of course, konbini. There's what I can think of at least two, pretty near to here, within walking distance at least. So yeah, but basically, if you want to live in rural Japan, you're probably going to want a car. I always recommend people get a car if they do any form of travel to here, unless, I don't know, unless you're going to stay in the only exception would be when you're doing our Yamabushi experiences, because you don't need to have a car for that. But anyway, so should we go down this strip? Oh, we can go through the shrine. Let's go through the shrine. So, so Sakata City used to have the quite an empty area of no pedestrians. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. So actually, that's not entirely true. There is a Oba-chan. There she is. Yeah. Where are we? Here we go. And there's always politician signs as well. Let me show you. Ugh. I'll get there. Here we go. Here we go. There's a politician, Kato Ayuko, who this is another sign of living in rural Japan. I'm on a first name basis with that politician. Anyway, not that I necessarily support her politics, but anyway, here we go. Here's some locals having a chat down there. Oh, that's another thing, like more than once I've been stopped, like cars in the middle of the road because people are having a chat. Like, two cars stop facing each other and have a chat. Gets in the way, but anyway. Okay, so I don't know if you've seen, there's a movie, 2009 movie called Departures, which won an Oscar. I believe it was an Oscar. And it was set here in the Shonai region, and this building here, this building was one of the main locations. There's someone coming out, adding to the pedestrian population. Yeah, and so they converted this building into a cafe, and this is the cafe I often go to. It's really good, actually. It's called the Hiyori Cafe and Bakery. Hiyori Bakery and Cafe. And in Chris's video a few weeks back, I guess, he ate this like pizza crepe thing, and which you can get here. Where is it? And there's another thing to mention there, which is ramen. Konnichiwa. Ramen. So, Sakata City won the best ramen in Japan award last year or something. I'll get a reference somewhere. But Yamagata City, so not Yamagata Prefecture. Yamagata City has the highest consumption per capita of ramen noodles. And if that doesn't tell you anything about the quality of the food, then I don't know what would. And so here we go. So we're at the park now. This is the Yoriyama Koen, right at the port. So, hang on, I'll be there in a second. There we go. So the Yoriyama Koen. So Hiyori means good weather. So this was a seikisho. This area was a seikisho, which is a checkpoint. And it was a checkpoint, and it also was a lookout for there's a lighthouse. There's a very famous lighthouse just here. I don't know if it was always there. I don't think it was, but this area was where they would keep a lookout for ships, and ships would also stop here and go through the checkpoints. There's a couple sitting down there. I don't want to bother them, and so this part has really good views. So let me show you. All right, so there you go. There's the lighthouse there, and the port. Can you see those containers, those blue containers? Yeah, it's really nice. Those blue containers, my friend is he's calling it a hotel. It's not a hotel. And in Japanese they call it a hotel, but you can actually go and stay there, and it's quite cheap. And since it's at the port, people can just get up and go fishing. I think that was the main idea behind it. Anyway, so this way here, so out there is a mountain which is Mount Atsumi, which is the one with the waterfalls, and then this one here in the distance behind this one is that's where Mount Kimbo and Mount Yorogamine, Mount Hokariyama, and Yunosawa-dake and Maya-san are out there, and then Mount Gassan is this way. And you can see the tower of Sakata, the Sakata Sky Tree, this one right here. I think that might be the tallest, or at least the highest building in Sakata. Anyway, so this port is crazy because it used to have these ships called the Kitamae-bune ships that, hang on, where are we? Kitamae-bune were these ships. I'll show you, this park has a half-scale model of them. They had these ships. The ships were called the Sengoku Bune. And so sen means 1,000, and koku was a measurement of rice, and one koku was how much rice one person would eat in a year. And so the Sengoku Bune were these ships, 1,000 koku ships. I think maybe that, I'm not sure what that would be, the price or something. I have to look that up. And so I'll just show you, we'll get there in a second. So these ships, so I told you about the Honma family being the richest family in Japan. And one reason why they got rich is because that port that I just showed you, so that port is on the end of the Mogami River, which is like it's a long river. It's the longest river in one prefecture in Japan. And it collected a whole lot of rice and safflower, which is, they used it to dye things red. Well, they used it to dye things red in the past. They probably still do. But, and safflower used to be worth more than gold. And so, so they would collect rice and safflower and all other artifacts from Yamagata Prefecture. And they would use these ships here. So this is a half-scale replica of the Sengoku Bune. They would use these ships, and they would trade all throughout Japan. So they would go all throughout Japan, or at least all throughout Honshu. So they would go all the way around to Edo, stopping off at like Osaka and other places, like Kyoto, I think like northern Kyoto and other places. And they would trade the safflower and the rice, and also they would bring back other stuff. And because in those times, like only people with the right permission were able to actually trade, or they were only the people with the right permission were able to leave the prefecture, leave the area. At the time it wasn't a prefecture. And so the people that ran these ships, they made a lot of money. And it's been said, I've read that, so they used to have tons and tons of these ships out on that port just there, and each single journey apparently earns $500,000 in today's money. So $500,000 for one journey. So and they had tons of these ships. In other words, the people here got really rich, and there was also a flourishing Maiko and so they have a Maiko geisha to hang out. And I was just like 150 geisha or something in Sakata. Yeah, it really was. It was a monopoly. And actually, I forgot to add one important thing, is that because they had the access to the ships, and one of the Honma family, I think it was Mitsuoka, the third generation, he also, so they had the ships, and he set up a system where they had runners between So they had the ships going by sea, and they had the runners going by land. They had these runners, like maybe on horse, I assume. And basically they would get the information of the prices at different points. And so they would use that information to make the prices more expensive. And they created a futures market out of that. And that's another reason why they became extremely rich. I don't know if you know the candlestick charts. I'm not sure if you saw it, you'll know exactly what I mean. But they have these candlestick charts that show like the highs and lows of a price at one point in time, and it has a graph. So that candlestick chart was invented by the Honda family. They're still used on Wall Street. Actually, there's a car coming. Yeah, what else was I talking about? The geisha culture. So yeah, so that was a direct import from Kyoto, and it still survives here. There's one place that has Sakata Maiko. It's called Somaro. And another interesting fact is these shrine gates right here. These shrine gates, actually, if I push that, oh, no, that's not gonna work. Yeah, here we go. So these shrine gates were donated by Saigo Takamori. Saigo Takamori, who is basically who Ken Watanabe played in the Last Samurai. Yeah, it's cool, right? You should check it out on Wikipedia. There's a little bit of information about it. So this is the Hiei Shrine, which isn't the original Hiei Shrine because, of course, in the 1600s, I think it was 1600s, Sakata used to be on the other side of that river. The main settlement of Sakata was on the other side of the river, but it kept flooding. And so they packed up town. They spent, over the course of 100 years, they moved the center of the city to here. And so this Hiei Shrine is the second Hiei Shrine of Sakata. And now it's now considered the city center. All right. So Sakata City there's a lot of history. It's too much to put into one video. But yeah, a hell of a lot of history. But if I was asked if it was dying, I don't know. It's hard, like, someone who lives here and loves the place, it's hard to say that it is. But there are aspects of it that are dying. But one thing I haven't mentioned is the population as well. Like, maybe 2 or 3 years ago again, we used to be more than 100,000. Now it's gone below 100,000. Actually now it's gone well below, like losing like 2,000 or 3,000 a year, which is huge. But it's not like we're inconvenienced or anything. Here's the shrine. Or I could just do this like a normal person. Here we go. Here, Jinja with the same, what's it called? Mitsudomae, that mark with the 3 circles, which I'm pretty sure it represents water. So yeah, this is the Hiei Shrine. This is the main shrine of Sakata City. And again, I'm the only one here. There's not even any staff members or anything. We come here at New Year's. It's always busy, and there are stalls and everything. It's a really nice shrine. Yep, and here's the Omotesando, the main entrance. It's up through here. And there are all these temples. Where's my hand? There are all these temples along the side, kind of like a border of the city. Anyway, So, oh, there's someone else. Another person. Konnichiwa. And so, yeah, so certain aspects of the city are, in fact, dying. Population is falling, more and more empty buildings coming, and then the empty buildings, like, my honest take on the whole Akia empty building situation is what, buyer beware. Because I was looking into getting an Akia as well, but all of the ones that I went to, they had like, I think what you want to do is find a place that a rich person owned, because they would have a better builder at the start. Because all the places that I found, they had floorboards were not swollen. What do you call it? Floorboards were not straight, and the building is going to take extensive work to fix. And there's a lot of those buildings around here, so I'm not entirely sure what the situation, the solution is. Oh no. Yes, the history of Sakata is really interesting. Yeah, I don't know where the best place to find information on that would be. I've written about it a little bit in my newsletter. I don't know where the best place would be. I don't know, maybe I need to do a write-up. Yeah, that's right, lease repair. Yeah, unless you want to like completely refurbish a place. So yeah, my opinion is that we should, yeah, it's buyer beware. Just be careful, be very careful. If you have the money, it's fine, I think. Some people do some really good jobs, but that's because they have the money and the time to do it up. Here we go. This part here, there's a very famous sushi restaurant. It's called Suzumasa. And there's a few restaurants here. So this is where the geisha, the geiko there are. I'll show you around. So there's a few like izakaya, like in this building here, there's some izakaya. And then the place that Chris goes to is like, I think it's just down there. Or is it? Oh no, it's here. And then, yeah, I'm pretty sure it's down there. And then there's old buildings, and Baba doesn't look like it's in business. Tachikawa, this place here, Tachikawa, that's a good restaurant. Oh, they are in business, the lights on. There's no one there. This is called Kamezaki. It's a really cool restaurant, really cool inside. Random picture. I don't know how to say that. Kalai? Katai? Anyway. So this part here, this is where the geisha are in this building right here. It's called Somaro. And the geisha culture is still alive. Thanks in large part to, well, thanks entirely to Kosuzu Ne-san, who I've interviewed on this channel before. It's a really nice restaurant in there with the quintessential Japanese flag, not ruining the view at all. And there's some people doing some work down there. So this building here, Somaro, this is where the Geiko and Maiko are. Oh, it must have closed for the day. It's weird. I thought they were usually closed on Wednesdays. 午後4時まで Somaro. So, Central Sakata. That's the first time I've seen that shop open. It's specifically selling nashi, the Japanese pears. Kariya nashi, very famous in this area. It's the first time I've seen that shop open. Yeah. And that's the end of the city there. So you go down there and there's houses and stuff. And then this is the edge. So that's one of the Konbini, Family Mart. I just want to walk down this part here. So I'll just wait for the traffic lights. So yeah, this, can you see like it's paved. We call it not paved, it's like a brick road. So that was like the main strip. And you go down there, you get to the road that takes you to the train station. And along here, there are a few temples, just like behind these buildings. They were like the border of the city. Okay, across. Daimaru Fudosan. Anyway, yeah. So it's hard to tell if these buildings are in business or not. Like that one there, looks like it is, but I don't know. Yeah, buildings like this, really cool style. I like the buildings, but yeah, I don't know what's this. Selling like pottery, like I don't know, satoru. It's good yakiniku. And look at that. You can always find someone doing some sort of construction. Yeah. So I don't know what's up with this building. And here we go. So there's a whole, it's now just flat land. There was a huge building full of izakaya, the bars, or type of bars here, and now it's been destroyed and it's just flat. And there's a few places like this. At least someone's getting use out of it as a car park. And there's an Indian restaurant right there. I used to go to it when I was at a different location. Is that? I'm pretty sure. No, it was down that way. There was one place like this that I used to go to eat yakiniku. Can't remember. I think I went there once, twice. Yeah, and so you got a lot of pubs and restaurants, but I don't know how they stay in business. Snack amore. Some buildings down there. And so Daruma Sushi. This one here it's a good sushi shop. Daruma Sushi. Kagura. Teppan yaki, okonomiyaki. Never been in there. And here's another group of izakaya, a snack, I should say. Snack. Yeah, and this is Daruma Sushi. You can see Daruma-san. This place is doing well, I think. They're good. It's a good restaurant. Sushi, obviously. And then there are a few other restaurants around. Link. Oh, you have to be 18 to go in there. Wait, is it? Yeah, you have to be 18 to go in there. Akimoto Biyoshitsu. This place is out of business. Clearly, there must be. That's a cool looking building. And the one right next to it is really cool too. Sakata Taylor. Oh, actually, I think I've been there. I think I went there and got my clothing tailored before. And they're in the Sakata Taylor. And here's another snack. This building is actually, it's a really cool building. I remember there was a whiskey bar in there I went to. It's a really cool building because you can like sit in the upstairs part and look out into town. Yumin Shizuka. There's a whole lot of snack. Daikoshan. 夜間駐車を禁じます。That's cool. It's telling you to park your daiko, the dialer driver. Is that what they are? They would be in English. And here we go. Just lots of snack in the back of buildings. You can buy some unagi. Okay. Here we go. There's a building for sale. Uri Bukken. Hikiwatashi. So they'll take the building down if you buy it. Car park. What's this? No signs. Oh no, here we go. Takumi Shika. It's a dentist. Yeah. Sakaya. It's very Japanese, isn't it? Yakitori. Sake dokoro. There we go. It's a cool building. In the corner there, that same politician from earlier. It's a cool looking building. It's empty. Oh no, there's someone's stuff in it. Just open. Okay, it's rubbish. Yeah, it must be long gone. Wadachi, that's actually a really good steak restaurant. Run by a friend of mine. So he should have given way to me. Anyway, he happens all the time. And then the Sakata Tower is up there. Oh, I missed it. Alright. Kerun. Oh, Kerun. This shop here. Kerun. It was a Kerun, they reopened in a different building. So this building was an earthquake risk, but Kerun was a sake shop. Sake as a bar and cafe, and there was this like 90-something-year-old bartender who invented a drink called Yukiguni, Snow Country Yukiguni, and he was really famous. And he was still tending the bar, is that what you call it, until he died, only like 1 or 2 years ago. This place here. So this building is out of commission. I know that for a fact. And it was an earthquake risk. Yeah, I know that for a fact. All right. And then here's the Kitamae Yokocho, like a small group of izakaya. Actually, that's a really good spot if you want something to eat at night. Just go there. There's a few different restaurants that you can try. Again, one of my friends runs one of them. It's hard to call him my friend, a former student, I should say. Anyway, then, all right, let's turn this camera on me again. So there is life. There is life in Sakata City. I suppose you just got to know where to find it. There are people. Where am I? There are people walking around and everything. And there are a lot of bars, and the bars seem to, well, they're doing enough to survive even through COVID and all that. It's possible that these people made a lot of money during the bubble era, and they're just living off their savings. So I think that's actually what happens with a few of these places, like this place across the road. I don't know how they're staying in business. But they are. Yeah. Well, strip is closed. Let me show you. This place here isn't. But this whole strip. So I thought these were like, yeah, there we go. So this one is York. So it's Western style clothing. So these were shops. Fashion gallery, there you go. I don't know what fashion gallery is, but there you go. Is this still live? It is still live. I'm still here. Thanks for joining. This is so cool. I'm so glad I saw the alert. Yeah. I'm sorry. So I made a mistake. I made a mistake. So I got here late, and then I wanted to do it landscape, but I didn't have the right settings, so I'm just doing it. Doing it. Yes, I finally got to glimpse this. Yeah, thanks. So yeah, so this part here is like a Hollywood cosmetic. Hollywood cosmetic. There you go. They always have cool names. Kirayaka. Oh, what am I doing? It's always got different infos. What city works? Yeah. Thanks. So yeah. No worries. Yep. So this building, I think they might actually be taking it down. It's a car park here. Yeah. And I used to record a radio station here and there. And they moved. Harbour Radio, here you go, Sakata FM, Harbour Radio Studio. So they moved to a new building next door. So that's the city hall there. Sanroku is there, is it? NTT. In my hometown in Wellington, they have an NTT building with that exact same logo. Oh, thanks, you like it? Chokai-san, Mount Chokai. Yeah, so my sister works in a NTT building in New Zealand. Anyway, SBI, SoftBank. It's actually SoftBank's bank, actual bank. And then, yeah, this is the city hall. Shonai Ginko, Shonai Bank has this is a brand new building. This is a brand new building. And in Chris's video, New Zealand, this is amazing. Yeah. And in Chris's video, he talks about Sendai getting a new station, or maybe like a revamped station. But Yamagata, or at least Sakata, they did build, like, there are new buildings like this one. Like, things are getting consolidated. That radio place I used to work for, well, it was voluntary. The radio shop, radio station is in that building there. Oh, and you can see Shimizuya. That was the name of that department store. Yeah, you're welcome. Thanks for joining. The Japanese are so good. Great. Oh, thanks. Yeah, so there are like buildings that are like consolidated and stuff. Actually, one of these buildings here, this one here that they're refurbishing, not the police box. This one that they're refurbishing it's called Abumiya, Q Abumiya. So the former house of the Abumi family, I think, and they were one of the other rich families around from that trade in the Edo period. Yeah. So this whole building, so they're refurbishing it. So also the shiakusho as well, the city hall. This building's what? Maybe about, it's at least 5 years old, maybe like 10 years old now. So like the important buildings, they are redoing, what do you call it? Like building new and stuff. But there's a lot of like places like this. There's heaps of them. Sarachi, just where there was once a building and now there isn't. There's a lot of places like that. Yeah. But one thing that has happened in recent years that I am extremely happy about is that they have more and more cafes. Like not just kissa, like the traditional Japanese ones, but ones that sell espresso, which is really hard to get because you can go to Starbucks, which opens at 7 a.m, but Starbucks is Starbucks. Best avoided if you know your coffee. And so there's been an increase in cafes which actually sell espresso. And so I have an espresso machine at home because I can't get it otherwise. Except in the past few years, at least 2 have popped up. 3 have popped up in the past 3 years. And so, but the thing is, they still open really late. Like the earliest one opens at 9, which is too late for me. But anyway, so there are cafes. There's always stuff to do. This is just the city centre. So if you want city centre kind of life, don't come here. Just stay in Tokyo. But in the city centre, if you like history, it's a cool place to explore and I always learn new stuff just by walking around and talking to people and stuff. And then there's like the nature, because the nature in Yamagata is what it's all about. Nature and the food. Thanks for watching the competition. Yeah, so that's one of the places that popped up recently. Popped up 2 or 3 years ago. The guy that's a goat farmer. Oh, did I mention it in the video? Forest life. So Yamagata is if I walk from here, how long would it take me? Actually, because I'm in the city centre, it'll take me maybe 30 minutes and I'll be in the rice fields from here. But from my house, it's less than 2 minutes and I'm at the rice fields, and that's the kind of stuff that I like. The 2 minutes of nature and great water. Yeah, so Yamagata has all of that. There's a list of 100 water fountains, natural water springs in Yamagata as well. The 100 famous water springs of Yamagata. So I noticed that in my research doing the mountains of Yamagata. But, so the water, because the water from Mount Chokai is extremely fresh. It's melted snow and then also spring water. And there's a Scottish company, a Scottish whiskey company set up a Scottish whiskey factory here, just to the north, not in Sakata City, in Yuza town. And is it a dragon? Oh yeah, that's right. Ryujin, dragon god, god of the water, god that controls the water. And so this there's a whiskey. It's called Yuza Distillery. Yuza, Yuza Distillery. So these Scottish people looked all around the world and they decided to build their whiskey factory in Yuza. So yeah, right. And so that that should prove something, right? There's a whole lot of there's this one place called Dohara no Taki on Mount Chokai, Dohara no Taki, and it has these 2 water springs. They're really close to each other, and you can they both taste different. And the thing is, you go there and you taste both of them and see which one you like better. Dohara no Taki, which I haven't written about. I don't think so, because Mount Chokai, so much to write about Mount Chokai. Yeah. And the good water also makes good rice as well. And that means good rice means good sake. Because there's just in Sakata City alone, some of the best sake in the world comes from here as well. Sake, ramen. Yeah, I know people that have ramen, well students, I'm talking about university students, they have ramen every day. It's their lunch. The natural springs, yeah. So kitty? What's this? Ski Nickel cafeteria. That's really cute. Let me show you. It's yellow. Ski Nickel cafeteria. Moon Cat cafeteria. Who's the cat? So the cat's just there. in the window. Anyway, so this path takes me down to Sankyo Soko. So Sankyo Soko is these famous rice warehouses. That they were still functioning as they were originally intended to, like 130 years after. Where are we? After they were built. So they were built in 1893, and they just stopped using them like last year or 2 years ago. I'll show you. Get there in a second. Yeah, the rice warehouses. So, because Yamagata is of course famous for rice as well. Okay, once I get to the rice warehouses, I think I'm gonna have to finish up. It's one thing I have to do. I have to get my watch fixed. Yeah. Sakata. Yeah. So this YouTube live was impromptu. I only really decided to do it this morning, and I made a mistake. Where's my face? And but it was fun. I like doing this kind of stuff. Hopefully people like watching it too. But I wanted to do it. I wanted to do it landscape so that it's better to watch after the fact. Here we go. Here's the rice warehouses. Organic rice, yes, is very good. Except Japan hasn't caught on to the organic stuff that much yet. Something like only 5% of Japanese agricultural goods. This information is more than 5 years old, but it's like something like 95% of the food produced in Japan is inorganic. Lots of pesticides, and it's largely due to Tokyo, so Japan Agriculture, JA. Just having a complete monopoly on the place. Yeah, but this information is old, so it's at least 5 years old. But there's still very much inorganic. So you have to know where to go to get the organic stuff. Luckily, there are a few people around here. Yeah, so let me show you these rice warehouses. They're really cool. Yeah, and the Green Hotel. My nephew got a laugh out of that. So did I. But oh no, longevity. Yeah. So there's a company in this just south of here called Seeds. I think it was SEADS. That they're trying to get Japan agriculture to switch to organic, and they're one way they're doing that is by designing, well, they've already designed these robot ducks that like they stir the water in the rice fields. That it's a form of weed control. They're called aigamo. I translated the website for it, so that's why I know about it. But there's plenty of work to be done in that respect, because people they don't understand like the benefit or the value. Oh, good guy, stopped. The benefit or the value of organic. Space is open. Another cafe. Tacos. Aquaculture. Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah, so it's gonna have to finish up here. Go get my watch fixed, and I'm gonna replace some batteries. But I really appreciate your time. I hope I showed that. Well, the place is kind of dying. I can't deny it. But it's still got plenty of life in it, and will still be around for a while yet. Yeah, so if I think it's just a marketing thing, like a lot of what do you call it? There's like a tipping point, especially in Japanese marketing. I think slowly people are catching on, and so I think there'll be a tipping point. Or I'm hoping so. Yeah. Oh, I'm starting to lose my voice. Been talking too much. Yeah. Konnichiwa. Yeah. Yeah. Thanks for joining. So I'll see you next time around. I really would like to do this a lot more. It's much easier because I don't have to edit it. That's the thing that holds me back with YouTube. So I'm hoping to do more live videos. Next time I'll make it less impromptu. All right. Yeah. Thanks. All right. I'll catch you guys later. Have a good one. Yeah. Yeah. I want to do more live stuff. It's much easier for me. And it means I can do more content. All right. Thanks everyone. See you next time. Bye.